So being the biggest Air Force YouTuber and been making videos for like 5 years about the Air Force, I've heard a lot of things about 4 or 6 year contracts, and some of them are true and some of them are not. And that's what we're gonna cover in this video. All right guys, I got my little handy dandy notebook right here that I scribbled some chicken scratch on. I'm gonna try to decipher to make this video. We're just gonna start out with 8 lies that you might have heard about 4 versus 6 year contracts. Why 4 versus 6? Well, 4 or 6 years is how you can sign a contract in the Air Force. Those are your only 2 options. I signed a 6 year contract. I've been in for just over 4 years, so I have just under 2 years left. But I'm gonna go over some of these topics that people have been told that I'm like, that's just outright wrong. They should never be told that, and that's why I'm gonna correct it right now. Lie number 1, a 4-year contract limits my job choices. Now this is like a half truth. That is true, it does limit your job choices, but for like 98% of you that are gonna be trying to do a regular job in the Air Force, it doesn't limit you at all. You can actually do a 4 or 6 year. For most normal jobs, like my job for instance, 4 or 6 year, totally okay. Now 6 year contracts, yes, there are some jobs that require a 6 year contract. Those are special operations jobs like TACP, SEER, PJ, all of those are going to require a 6 year contract. You don't have a choice. Linguist is one of them also, but a majority of the jobs in the Air Force that you guys are gonna be going for require a 4 or 6 year contract. This isn't bashing recruiters. This video is not to bash recruiters. It's just to clear up some misconceptions that people have about 4 versus 6 year contracts. There are a lot of good recruiters out there. I'm sure there's hundreds of stories of good recruiters. I actually have 2 key points in this. The 2 truths that I'm gonna tell you were from awesome recruiters. Lie number 2 is 6 year contract helps you get the base you want. Nope, that's not even close to being true. Because if you wanna go overseas, you have the same chance 4 versus 6. Or if you wanna be stateside, 4 versus 6, it doesn't matter, same. It does not help you whatsoever have an edge on what base you're gonna go to. So don't sign 6 years thinking like, ooh, my recruiter told me I get a better choice of bases or I have the higher chance of going here. No, you don't. Going on to lie number 3. We have a recruiter told me for an open contract, I had to sign 6 years. Not for open contracts. Open contracts, you can do 4, 6, whatever you want. It just makes me so mad because I'm like, man, let the kid live. Let the kid pick his destiny. Lie number 4. There's a $2,000 sign-on bonus for a 6 year contract. Again, this is like a half truth because yes, there is a $2,000 signing bonus for maintenance jobs. Not for all jobs, just maintenance. Next lie is going to be lie number 5. More time to get a degree with a 6 year contract. Now yes, 6 years is more time than 4 years. That I agree with. But saying that if you sign a 6 year contract, it gives you more time to go to school. No, it does not. Because you wanna know what? If I would have gotten out in January, I could be a full-time student in college right now with the GI Bill. They could be paying for my college in full, and I could be going to 4 or 5 classes right now. I am in the Air Force still. I signed a 6 year contract, and the most I can take right now is like 2 classes at a time. They don't really like you to take more than 2 classes at a time. If you are focused on education, and that is your main goal, and doing a career isn't, if education is, do not get suckered into a 6 year. 4 years is the way to go. Do your time, earn your GI Bill, get out, use your GI Bill. That's the best thing you can do. If you sign 6 years, you're gonna have to wait those extra 2 years where you can't go to school full time. And if you wanna get out and pursue college, you just spent an extra 2 years doing like 2 classes a semester when you could have been doing 4 or 5. That's why I say that's a lie, because 6 years, yes, it's more time in the Air Force, but if you're out of the Air Force, you have more time to go to school. You know, you see what I'm saying? Education is your number 1 priority. A 4 year is probably the way to go. Lie number 6. This one is like the most absurd one I have ever heard. It was on my old video that I asked for people to comment what you've heard about a 4 versus 6 year contract. A recruiter apparently told somebody, if you sign 6 years, by the time you hit 4 years, you'll have made $50,000 more than someone who signed 4 years. So if you sign 6 years and you sign 4 years, and 4 years later, this dude gets out, and this is the 6 year, and you still have 2 years left, saying you made $50,000 more than this person. Where the heck are my $50,000? I signed 6 years. I should have $50,000 more than someone who signed 4 years. Where the heck are my $50,000? If you guys want to know, like I said earlier in the video, I made a 4 versus 6 year contract video comparison. I'll put the links down below. I'm actually gonna check my video right now to see what the exact number is of how much money you would have made more than someone at the 4 year mark if you sign a 6 year. All right, so I pulled it up. This was my video that I did. Again, I'm gonna have the links down below for you guys, but I literally calculated out how much you would make it every single year. And I can't believe someone would say you'd have $50,000 more dollars. Cause I'm like, what, where? I would have signed I signed a 6 year. So that's why I'm like, where the heck are my $50,000? But at a 4 year mark, if you sign 4 years, you will have made, if you came in as an E1, they are going to make, if they don't get BTZ, if they just have a regular career like everyone else, at the end of their 4 year mark, they will have made $92,500 after 4 years. Now, if what that person had been told was correct, that means that the person that signed a 6 year contract at that point should have $142,500. Are you guys ready for what they actually made? $94,529. That is a difference of $2,029. Like I said in the last lie, is that person, I actually wrote it on here. It says freedom. Those little scribbles right there, it says freedom. Because yes, the military, I agree, the military does not get paid bad, but it pays so much better on the outside. My job makes about double what I make right now on Nellis as a civilian, which most of the base is civilian contractors. I could literally have gotten out at my 4 year mark, moved down the ramp and worked on F-15s like I did at Kadena, but just here, and made twice as much as I am now. So if I would have signed a 4 year contract, if I would have gotten out and gotten a civilian job right now, I'd actually be making more than myself, well, what I am right now as a 6 year. So making that much more money, not true, not at all. You make $2,000 more than the person that signed a 4 year. But then they get out and they have the opportunity to go make more money than you. That's what I think is crazy. Once you have that 4 years of experience in the military, like for me in maintenance, I had 4 years of maintenance experience with the Air Force. I can go get a maintenance job in the civilian world, not that hard, and it pays me twice as much. So that means I could get out at 4 years, and that means the other dude has 2 years left. So over those next 2 years, I could be making twice as much as him. So if he's pulling in like $28,000 a year, and I'm pulling in $45,000 a year or more, those $2,000, those first 4 years don't really matter anymore, because now I'm making $20,000 more a year. So then at the end of your 6 year mark, well, it looks like I made $40,000 more than you over the last 2 years. So I mean, deduct that $2,000, $38,000 more dollars to sign a 4 year contract and then go get a civilian job. I think it's mind blowing that they said $50,000 more, man. I want my $50,000. If you're just handing out $50,000, totally not true. That's like the biggest lie that is on here, is that one. There is not much more money to be made if you sign a 6 year contract. Lie number 7, Air Force wants to save money, so it's harder to re-enlist with a 4 year contract. This is actually the one that I've heard the most, is that it's harder to re-enlist if you have a 4 year contract. You're not allowed to re-enlist if you have a 4 year contract. They don't like letting 4 year contracts re-enlist. No, the Air Force is trying to save money. If you know how to do your job and they already spent hundreds of thousands of dollars to train you, it is stupid for them to say, oh, you only signed 4 years? Deny your re-enlistment. What sense does that make? You just spent hundreds of thousands of dollars to train that dude. He wants to re-enlist and you're telling him no? Oh yeah, that's right, because the Air Force doesn't do that. The Air Force goes, oh my gosh, we need people so bad. We need people, you want to re-enlist? Oh my gosh, yes. Approve. Because we need people. We are very undermanned. That's the reason why there's a $2,000 signing bonus right now for maintenance jobs, because the Air Force needs people. If someone says, I want to re-enlist, as long as they haven't done anything really, really stupid, they're gonna re-enlist. Like, there's no way they're gonna deny you a re-enlistment if you haven't done anything super, super bad. And, oh, you signed a 4 year? Oh, no, we don't want you. No. I don't get how people get told that. I don't get how, like, again, this is like, not all recruiters are like this. These are just the ones that, like, most people, like, if the recruiter's being straight up with them, they're not telling me because, like, there's no reason to be like, oh no, my recruiter told me everything that was true. That's why I only hear the bad things. So I know it's, Most recruiters are awesome. My recruiter was totally legit. She was like truthful, honest. She was straight up about everything. Most recruiters, I hope, or I believe, are like that. I'm just hearing some of the bad stories. So don't get stuck in your head that all recruiters are bad. There's some good recruiters out there. There's a lot of good recruiters out there. Hopefully, most of you, or I wish all of you, got stuck with the good ones. But unfortunately, just like any workplace ever, there's gonna be some bad apples. I personally would not want to be a recruiter. No way. This is a lot of work. I've seen my recruiter work very, very hard. She was a very, very good recruiter. She had a lot to do all the time. I would not want to do that. A lot of people tell me, you should be a recruiter. No, no, no. I like telling people too much of the truth. I like helping people, like more for them than say like the Air Force. As a recruiter, I'd be like, nah man, you want to do this or this or this. Like, or I would try too hard to get people jobs instead of being like, I'm just gonna throw this person in this job because I'm sick of them waiting. I would like try, and then it just doesn't work out like that. I don't think I'd be a good recruiter. Not because I wouldn't be good for people, I just wouldn't be good for the Air Force. Like, I'm just not the right person to put in that position. Now, Air Force Public Affairs, I could probably be like one of the best. Probably, because I would probably enjoy it for a while. But, you know, things didn't turn out that way. They don't want me to be public affairs, so it is what it is. All right, we got lie number 8. With a 4-year contract, you can't cross-train. With a 6-year, you can. Well, that is false. You can indeed cross-train with a 4-year enlistment or a 6-year enlistment. You can cross-train with both. It's actually funny because you actually get a faster chance to cross-train. Those of you that don't know, man, I need to make a video about cross-training in the Air Force. It's pretty darn hard, and it's probably not gonna happen for 99% of you, but I mean, it's a question I get a lot, so I should probably talk about it in another video. You can cross-train a year before your contract ends, so pretty much around your 3-year mark if you sign 4 years, or your 5-year mark if you sign 6 years. I've been in the Air Force for just over 4 years. I have still not hit my cross-train window. I cannot cross-train in the Air Force for another year. And I've been in for 4 years, so everybody's like, oh, sign 6 years, I'll just cross-train. Bro, you're gonna be in the Air Force for a long time before you can cross-train. I've been in for 4 years and I'm still not even at my cross-train window. Mine's at like 5 years. It's actually at 4 years and 11 months. But you know, like, you can cross-train with a 4 or 6-year contract. That myth is busted. All right, now let's get on to the truths that some of these recruiters are super awesome for telling their recruits. And I respect you guys for being honest with those people, and then for you guys commenting and letting me know that this happened, because I do like to recognize when things are done correctly. Truth number 1 said, if you have a bachelor degree, do not sign a 6-year contract. Yeah, do not. The reason being, you already are coming in as an E3. You do not need the advanced promotion for the 6-year contract. You already have it. You are starting out as an E3. You do not need to sign the 6-year contract for that. Now, if you want the extra like $2,000 for maintenance, I mean, like, by all means, go for it. It's not worth it, in my opinion. Maintenance is not worth the $2,000. I would honestly say if you even have an associate's degree, I wouldn't sign a 6-year contract, because you're coming in as an E3 also. So, I mean, like, you don't need it. The second truth that I have to say is there's no sign-on bonus for a 4-year contract. This is absolutely correct. And it's actually pretty cool that some recruiters, I guess, say that. I'm sure they probably say that too, to like push you for that 6-year, like, well, you don't get a sign-on bonus for your 4-year contract, so, I mean, you might as well sign 6. But what it is any of those jobs have the big sign-on bonuses, such as special operations like TACP, SEER, PJ, all of those, CCT, they have a sign-on bonus, like a $20,000 sign-on bonus or whatever it is these days, $15,000 to enlist as one of those jobs, or a linguist. Those jobs require a 6-year contract, and then for the maintenance $2,000 bonus, I mean, you have to sign the 6-year for it. So they do not offer 4-year contracts with a signing bonus. And again, this is all for active duty. So Guard, Reserves, totally different. I mean, I heard they hand out like bonuses like candy when you join, like an enlistment bonus. Like dudes I was in tech school with, I signed up for free, $0. They were like, hey, here's $0. You want to do aircraft structural maintenance? I was like, yeah, word, cool, sounds good. Put that $0 in my pocket. But then you got guys that are showing up at tech school with us, and they're like, oh yeah, man, I'm Guard. They gave me like a $20,000 sign-up bonus. And I'm like, oh, they give you $20,000 to sign a job to work 1 weekend a month? I'm gonna slave away 5 days a week for the next 4, 5, 6 years, and then you give me a sign-on bonus, but you're gonna work 1 weekend a month, and they gave you $20,000? So Guard and Reserve is totally different than active duty. So, I mean, like, if you're trying to get that money, go Guard and Reserves, get the bonus, get a civilian job, make bank. That's what you should do. But that was my video, guys, on 4 versus 6 year contracts, lies and truths. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys are interested in some other videos right here, you can check those out. And as always, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, click the subscribe button down below, and check out my social media in the description below. I'm gonna have all those links to those videos that I pointed out earlier in the video about comparing 4 versus 6 year contracts, and I will see you guys next time. Peace out.